Hey guys, what's up? Tia Mowry here. So you guys are in for a treat. I am often asked, what is it like to be a twin? Almost every single day. I've been asked this question all my life. So today I'm gonna share with you guys some of my experiences. This is gonna be interesting. Sorry, Tamera. Sorry in advance. I'm sorry. I love you. Yes and yes. On my dad's side and on my mother's side. So that's like double whammy. I mean, my sister and I, we've already had our children. I'm really feeling sorry for my brothers right now because some twins are definitely down the line for them. I'm thinking my mom did not know that she was having twins until she gave birth. I asked my mom, I said, how is that even possible? And she said that my sister and I, we were basically like on top of each other. And it was like, you know, we were in unison. My sister came out first because she is the oldest by 2 minutes, even though I act older. My mom, she had my sister, and then the doctor was like, oh, you know, there's another one. And that's when I made my grand entrance. And cut to my dad fainting, and their world was about to change forever. When my sister and I would go out, my mom said she would always get stopped by people because we were twins. And back then, not like it was like millions of years ago, but I feel like it was more rare to have twins as opposed to, you know, today with, you know, there's IVF and there's just lots of things that you can do to, you know, have multiples. But back in the day, it would usually just happen naturally and it was very rare. So whenever there was some sort of twin sighting, people would just get excited and they would go crazy. You know, we were chunk monks like my daughter, and my mom just said since we were born, we were always putting a smile on people's faces. As we got older, I just remember, you know, never being bored. There's actual pictures of my sister and I in the kitchen, you know, taking out the pots and the pans and just, you know, having a party. It was like everywhere we went, we would, you know, just have a party and just have loads of fun because you have this built-in partner for life. And so we were never alone. There was always someone there to, you know, do stuff with. When you're identical, you start from one cell and then that cell splits. So you're literally like the same person. It's just being split. My sister and I, growing up, we were so connected and so attached at the hip. Sometimes my mom wouldn't understand it, or my brothers, Tavia and Taj, who you guys actually know, they would think that we're weird. We would sleep together in the same beds until we were 16. We just felt more comfortable holding each other and putting our arms around each other. And I think that's just from being in the womb. When we're together, it just feels, we're at peace, you know? And the last time we actually slept together in the same bed was last week when we went to Miami, and my sister, it had been a while because, you know, we've been married and have kids and we haven't really, you know, spent that much time together like that, where it's just us in the hotel room. And she was so excited. She was like, Tia, I get to put my arm around you like old times. I was like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. No. We've never been the type to go to those twin conventions, you know, where there's like 1,500 twins, because it's just weird. Nothing against twins or anything like that. I mean, I'm a twin, you know? When I'm looking at a pair of twins or a set of twins, especially who are identical, I'm amused. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like finishing each other's sentences. They move the same way, the way they shake their heads, the way they move their hands, the way they sit down. It's weird. I just think it's weird. I just think that dating a twin or twins would be weird. I don't know. We were never really like the conniving, type. But we did do it one time, and it was in high school. We shared the same class, which drove our teachers crazy. So my sister would have her seat, that she would always go to, and I would have my seat that I would always go to. And one day we just decided to say, let's switch. You go sit in my seat and vice versa. For some reason, I never really liked reading out loud in the classroom. And I remember when I swapped with my sister, I was like, oh, please do not pick on me. Please do not pick on me. The teacher said, okay, Tamera, it's time for you to read out loud. Can you read the next page? I was like, the day that I swapped with my sister. So I think being a twin in Hollywood has its pros and its cons. I think the pro would definitely have to be Hollywood execs. They were so interested in creating a project for us, and that's how Sister Sister came about. It wasn't something that was specifically written for someone else. These roles were specifically written for my sister and myself, and I think just because, we're twins, there's a cool kind of quirky, fun, storyline that you can do with twins, but I think it became a con as you get older. People tend to kind of put you together like as if you're one person, and wanting to have an individual career, it's harder for people to accept that and believe that Tia and Tamera are two different people. So people knew us as Tia and Tamera. So we really had to work hard to create our individual identity. But I feel very grateful that we have done that. So I think that's why we have longevity with our careers. When you know that you're having twins, it's exciting because you're like, oh my gosh, I get to dress them alike, and they get to share their birthdays, and you always kind of think of them as a unit, but I think it's really important for you as a parent to nurture their individuality, because my sister and I, it took us a while to not feel guilty about being different. That as we got older, we started to have different views and different thoughts. And for a while, we started to judge one another. Like, well, what do you mean you don't believe in that? You're supposed to be my twin. And I think that stemmed from not really nurturing our individuality. Like growing up, we would, have the same cake. What if I didn't like strawberry shortcake? Or what if I didn't like the outfit that my sister decided to pick out, but then I'd have to wear it because she's wearing it, because we're twins. There's nothing wrong with twins being different and individuals. My sister and I, we shared friends all the way up into college, and it started to get harder because when you're sharing a friend, and let's say you two fight or get into an argument because of your different views, guess who you're venting to? That same friend. So it's like, can you believe what Tamera said to me? And then Tamera would be like, can you believe what Tia said to me? To that one friend. And I felt so bad for that one friend because we were constantly putting her in the middle of things. And that just was not healthy. You can share some, friends, but I think it's important to have your own, friendships as well. I think it's healthy. We were in our 20s. I know that's a long time. We were going to college and living together was amazing. And then my sister ended up, I had no idea. She found this place. And the first time I had heard of it was when we went to go look at the place. So she was like, she's like, I'm moving. And I'm like, okay. So we go and we see her place. Then for some reason that fell through, her buying this place. It didn't, go through. So then she was kind of forced to move. Well, she didn't really move out, but she was kind of forced to not, move out at the time. So I said, I'm going to move out before she moves out. I was like, okay, so she did that to me, but guess what? I'm going to beat her to it. So I ended up moving out first for reals. That was interesting because, it was another adjustment. Again, and I think the hardest thing about being a twin is feeling guilty about being different, feeling guilty about being an individual. But as we've gotten older, we've realized that actually that's what makes you stronger. When you have, two different points of views, you learn from each other more that way. I think the coolest thing about being a twin that I've realized is I never felt alone going through life. When I was in high school and, I was going through the awkward stages of being in braces and, boys and etc., she was going through it with me because we're the same age and we're going through, our lives together. So I think that is, one of the coolest things about being a twin. You never really feel alone. All right, you guys, so there you have it, my experiences with being an identical twin. Let me know some of your experiences. I'm curious. Are you married to a twin? Are your parents a twin? Is your sister, your brother a twin? I'm really curious. Make sure you subscribe to Tia Mowry's Quick Fix, and I'll see you next week.